Hey there, spiritual maniacs, and all you wonderful YouTubers. Thanks for stopping by today. Getting ready to record a spiritual almanac for Saturday, January 30th. It is the second straight day in a row of sunshine here in central New York. I don't know what we did to deserve this, but we'll take it. Some interesting stuff for you today. We're going to be talking a little bit about the American poet Ella Wheeler Wilcox, an interesting person, really, in a lot of ways. And we'll get into that. But the poem that we're going to be looking at today is one that I think that you maybe you've heard of this poem before. But it's really a great poem with a great backstory, and I hope you enjoy that. Also, for spiritual nuggets today is the anniversary of the Tet Offensive, which was a religious holiday in Vietnam. Kind of made it, unique in the way that started. Also, going to be taking a look at the life of Coretta Scott King, MLK's widow. Today marks her death in 2006, and then finally we're gonna take a closer look at the actor Gene Hackman. I know, kind of random, right? Except today is his birthday. That's how he comes up in the almanac. But I had no idea about this, but he really has a tragic story of his childhood, and it kind of shaped who he was as an actor. Um, I one of the things I really like about him, I think he's a great actor. I've always enjoyed his roles. Hoosiers, lots of different films, but he's really down to earth in real life, as it turns out. So, I hope you stick around for that because I think it's worth listening to. Okay. Well, let me get set up and let's start today's Spiritual Almanac podcast, okay? Welcome to a Spiritual Almanac. It's Saturday, January 30th, 2021. Ella Wheeler Wilcox was an early 20th century writer and poet. She was born to a family of self-styled intellectuals on a farm in Johnstown, Wisconsin, but her family had financial problems, and she turned to writing poetry as an escape, publishing her first poem when she was just 8 years old. In 1884, she married Robert Wilcox, and the two made a pact that the first one to die would try to make contact with the survivor from the afterlife. When Robert passed away 30 years later, she crafted a mantra in her grief and repeated it over and over throughout the day. It went, I am the living witness, the dead live, and they speak through us and to us, and I am the voice that gives this glorious truth to the suffering world. I am ready, God. I am ready, Christ. I am ready, Robert. Many of Wilcox's poems reflect her sensitivity to both the seen and unseen world. As a young adult, she was traveling to the governor's inaugural ball in Madison when she ran across a young woman dressed in black and crying. Wilcox comforted her, but she couldn't get the woman out of her mind. When she arrived at the governor's ball, Wilcox wrote the opening lines of today's inspiration. It's a poem titled Solitude. Laugh and the world laughs with you. Weep and you weep alone. For the sad old earth must borrow its mirth, but has trouble enough of its own. Sing and the hills will answer. Sigh, it is lost on the air. The echoes bound to a joyful sound, but shrink from voicing care. Rejoice and men will seek you. Grieve and they turn and go. They want full measure of all your pleasure, but they do not need your woe. Be glad and your friends are many. Be sad and you lose them all. There are none to decline your nectared wine, but alone you must drink life's gall. Feast and your halls are crowded. Fast and the world goes by. Succeed and give and it helps you live, but no man can help you die. There's room in the halls of pleasure for a large and lordly train, but one by one we must all file on through the narrow aisles of pain. More spiritual nuggets for today. On this day in 1968, North Vietnamese and Viet Cong forces launched surprise attacks on the South Vietnamese and American armed forces. It was the holiday of Tet, or the Vietnamese New Year. Each religion celebrates Tet in its own way, but many Vietnamese return home on the holiday to worship at family altars or visit the graves of deceased relatives. Traditionally, Tet is also a day of truce. By ignoring the truce, the North Vietnamese gained an important advantage, and the success of the Tet Offensive helped erode support for the war back in the U.S. Today marks the death of Coretta Scott King in 2006. The widow of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., King played a leadership role in the civil rights movement following her husband's assassination and founded the King Center, where she spearheaded the effort to make his birthday a national holiday. She was also active in the women's movement and advocated for other social causes, including LGBT rights and the fight against South African apartheid. Just a few days ago, on January 20th, her daughter Bernice tweeted, "As you honor my father today, please honor my mother as well." She was the architect of the King legacy and founder of the King Center, which she founded less than 3 months after Daddy died. Without Coretta Scott King, there would be no MLK Day. And today is also the birthday of the actor Gene Hackman in 1930. When he was 13 years old, Hackman was playing in the street when his father gave him a small wave and walked away forever, abandoning the family without explanation. Hackman went on to enjoy a film career that spanned more than 6 decades and 2 Academy Awards. Over the course of his career, he developed a reputation for playing a range of characters, and in 1972, he played a memorable role as a banished clergyman in the box office hit The Poseidon Adventure. Although he's retired from acting now, he's always maintained a practical, down-to-earth perspective about his craft and his life. He's quoted as saying, "When you're on top, you get a sense of immortality. You feel you can do no wrong, that it'll always be good no matter what the role. Well, in truth, that feeling is death. You must be honest with yourself." Good spiritual advice for all of us, Gene. Happy birthday. And that's today's Spiritual Almanac. For additional reading, see the Essential Ella Wheeler Wilcox Poetry Collection. There's a link in the description and at our website. A Spiritual Almanac is a production of Granola Soul. You can find a text version of today's episode, Ella Wheeler Wilcox's Solitude, and other resources at our website, granolasoul.com. Thanks for stopping by today. Be kind, take care of each other, and I'll see you tomorrow.